So welcome everyone. We are here again for another episode of the updates. What is happening in Myanmar? Uh, we have been doing this update since the very start of the coup, and we continue to do it as SEA-Junction in collaboration with Ajar Foundation to keep attention about what is happening in Myanmar. There are always changes, and it's very important to follow what is happening on all sides of the fight that is ongoing for a new Burma. Today, like the last time, already sixth time, we have with us a very well-known journalist at the moment associated with Mizzima, and he's going to talk to us about what is happening in the last month. And then, as usual, we will open the floor to people here on Zoom as well as on Facebook Live. Before I forget, I am Sciortino, and I am the director of SEA-Junction for those who don't know me. Please, Uzao.
Thanks, Leah. This month, maybe I will talk three issues. One is on about state of press freedom because of May 3, it's a war press freedom. And then second one will be about the Rohingya question, about the ongoing, crisis, the military advance in AA, Arakanese army in Rakhine State, and took over Pudida Moundor, and quite a lot of question or issues concerning Rakhine, in particular Pudida Moundor border with Bangladesh, and last not least that the change of guard in Thai administration that potential impact on Burma Myanmar kind of joint task force, because it was chaired by the outgoing foreign minister Pampri. So we are going to get a new one. So these are the three key topics that I will touch on these 41 Burma Myanmar update. So my presentation, please. I will start with the media situation in Burma Myanmar. We recently marked May 3 as a War Press Freedom Day, and then traditionally War Press Freedom Day also there is a release of the RSF Reporter Without Border, usually based in French, and there is a War Press Freedom Day index. As a journalist, as a media worker, we also celebrate one in Chiang Mai and one with the FCCD in Bangkok, and also there is a launch of the new report. So I will start with this, the state of Myanmar, Burma media, what is going on. Next slide, please. So to start with, it is not good to be journalist at the moment because it's quite dangerous. And so far, there is a 51 journalists and 52 journalists stay behind bar. They were around 200 arrests, but some released. And then recent Press Freedom Index indicate that Burma Myanmar is 171 out of 180 countries. So we are still one of the worst index, worst freedom or worst 10 country in the globally. And it's 2024 this year. Actually, last year we are 173. A lot of people confuse is a Burma media situation or press freedom situation improved? Actually, it's not. It is many other countries like Gaza, it is 143 journalists killed or missing, and more journalists killed than entire Second World War. So and war on Ukraine. So a lot more worsening and situation in many other part of the globe. So I think it is nothing to do with our press freedom index 173 moved to 171. And also according to CBJ, CBJ as comedy presenting protecting journalists. They said Burma Myanmar is a war second jailer or the next to China. They list at 42, but for us 52, and also a few other like RSF. They have 61 detained. We are working on how do you define what is a detained journalist or many others. So that is ongoing. So, I mean, in terms of compare with the size, China is too big. Even China, 42, then Burma, they regard 41. It's a lot more journalists are under detention. But I mean, before we get this back, actually, Burma Myanmar Press Freedom Index in 2020, we are 139. And then Thailand was 140. I just compared neighboring country because we were more free than Thailand because of Thailand having a military coups. It was a General Payut, and then Burma was more advanced. One more point than the Thai Press Freedom Index. And also, currently, journalists are facing, I mean, severe charge, not with the media law. We have a news media law, but none of the journalists charged with media law. They were charged with like 52A, 51, the counter-terrorist or heavy penalty. Recent, Shindewi, the filmmaker, the ladies got a life sentence under this, counter-terrorist law. So there is a very heavy drug, punishment, and more than 20 media houses, revoked license or shut down. So I think there is also army, they attempt only one version of truth. Let me spell out a little bit about this, which version of truth. Next slide, please. And also recently, there was a very interesting marking of DPRPW. It's spelled out Department of Public Relations and Psychological Warfare. 77 years old, 77 anniversary, attended by Mail General Mail and then the Army spokesperson, General Zomenton, head of the department. So there is, very serious ongoing side war sponsored by Army. And they've been doing that for the last 77 years ago. And they are still doing it. And they control Myawaddy Army TV channel. They control even Myanmar TV, Myanmar TV, then state TV, mainly Army, and also there is a new department in the other picture information technology and mobile communication. There is another cyber operation, and headed by very young Russian graduate, Kane Jozoye, it is near Yangon. There is a new department and basically targeting and cyber war against resistant people. So how do they target? These are the layer of targeted. First layer is they are targeting their cyber operation to the active soldier who are on the active duty, and then the second layer will be soldier and soldier family, and then third layer will be the entire publics. So these are the deliberate, creating a algorithm, the soldier family and the publics, and very sophisticated cyber plus these modern, cyber warfare supported by the Russian. So this is what Army trying to reinstate their one version of truth and very active. So I think only a few countries, openly operate DPRPW. They don't even shy to spread of psychological warfare. So the media is used as one of the weapons, not facilitate to inform or educate or entertain people. So this is the another serious marking of this department DPRPW and very active, and also a lot of problem like in Rakhine or Rohingya issue is deliberately created by this particular department. They are doing this misinformation, disinformation, malinformation campaigns. So things are much complicated when there is a communication is blackout, and so they contributed to a lot more crisis. This is also becoming one of the threat to the independence media that they are countering our independence information through these public relation and psychological warfare. So I mean it is a very very old department state, very active, and also actively getting support by Russia. And Russia are very good at cyber warfare, and then this is what journalists facing on top of all this severe punishment and arrest and chasing, and then on top of that there is ongoing modern cyber misinformation and campaign that we are facing. This is about media saturation. I mean, I can go on like there is a army also not only take over many other institutions, they did take over Myanmar Press Council because all the press council member resigned. So the mainline appointed one former colonel, lieutenant colonel, as a head of the Myanmar Press Council. That's why we also now we formulate our own independent press council in exile and join with many other media houses both inside and outside. So this is the current state of media. I don't see any relaxing on independent information flow and in near future. So army were seriously keep these Department of Public Relations and Psychological Warfare for many other users. All right, now I will go to current very problematic issue about Rohingya questions. Next slide, please. And there is a lot of hot air at the moment, ongoing. Burma, Myanmar. I mean, there is a lot of crisis. Can I get another? Before this one, go back to the picture that I want to show. So these are the picture. Yeah. These are the surrender soldier recently force conscripted by army. Most of them are Muslim minority Rohingya. And these are the AA in uniform. And when they advance, they're saying that they are giving helping hand. But there are a lot of accusations, But there is a fact that there was a few forced conscripted young Muslim Rohingya people in Burmese army because of their Buddhist amount of, I mean, in 2017, 18, most of the problem come from that area too. It is a 80% majority Muslim. And now these are the AA trying to saying that they are given. I mean, there is already more than 200,000 newly IDPs and refugees. Burma, Myanmar already have 3 million. On top of that, this within short time, and also very problematic. And AA being capturing 8 other township, but not much problem. But this one, this Buddhist mountain, and then they are accusing. There is a lot of accused that AA involved in human rights violation. So the situation is ongoing, and you will see a lot of ongoing news on Al Jazeera. I saw one yesterday. There is ongoing reports, So I think it's very confusing, and also even the journalists, because of that there is complete communication cut. No phone call, only you can, and no ground media present. Only a few active SIM or communication available, limited available. So next slide, please. So these are what happened in that particular area. So Rohingya nowhere to go, and the upper photo there is a demonstration denouncing AA and UG organized by army organized demonstration in Burma, Myanmar, especially place like that. Only the army can organize the demonstration. So they are saying that they don't want AA and UG. And also other people, those people with the guns are with the police and army uniform. So it's happened when AA overrun on May 17th. The entire, I mean, Budhidan township was overrun, and all the SAC soldiers running into either Bangladeshis or with their gun, scatter out everywhere. So this is the 80% majority, and then there is start accusing that they start burning down the Muslim houses or maybe we're not sure. Is it the active Rohingya conscripted soldier or houses? There was a lot of accusation. Is saying that there is an army heavy artillery and airstrikes. So but the fact is that they were two house burned down. I think a lot of people see the CNN run a story about the satellite images, before and after May 17 overtaking a town. And then there was actually a lot of area being burned down. But we don't know who actually involved in this incident. There is a lot of accusation, and that's raised the eyebrows of local and international concern. And there is all the IAM, the IAM is a UN body, SEA-Junction is a UN body, UNHCR, Human Rights Commissioner, and also Embassy recently made statement in Yangon saying concern, and 195 local organization, make the statement. But now a lot more other organization withdrawing their statement because there is no clear information from the ground that who is actually behind all this. It seemed like there is deliberate attempt. In attempt to have another racial tension in that area on top of all this misinformation and malinformation and disinformation campaign. There is another worsening refugee situation happen in that area. Rakhine, it is also very lucrative, not only racial tension. There is a more than 9 billion worth of 28 international investment. I can spell it out, China, there is a China DC port, China pipeline, and there is a Bangladesh border trade. There is a India Galadan Mati transport hub, and there is a South Korea gas field, and also there is a Japanese in Tandwe, there is a Japanese hydropower planet. So, whoever run that Rakhine, that is very lucrative, more than similar to the Northern Shan State where the Three Brother Alliance is one of the alliance. So there is also another confusing issues going on. But things is that there is no independent media on the ground, as I said, and also no monitoring groups. We're trying to reach out to that area to verify, but they finding it very difficult. All right, this is the ongoing and we're very serious, and we're very worried about this. We don't want to see another racial violence in that particular area. Next slide, please. So these are the Rohingya or Arakan question were remade. So these are the also requesting humanitarian aids, emergency relief, and these are the flag that hold by the local Rohingya people. So this is issues that I think will occupy maybe until end of this year. And I think we urgently need to monitor the situation, and also we urgently need access to information in this particular area. So I will touch a little bit. This is about Rakhine. I know a lot of questions can answer, but it's ongoing and very fragile and very sensitive. Now I will touch very little on the recent time. And next slide, please. There is a change of guards. And also we all know that, out of blues, and Mr. Thaksin and former ex-prime minister met with the 5 ethnic groups. We know. I asked a few of them who met him, and basically, but the Thaksin, he and the Thai media report that he was talking only about humanitarian and other concerns, but he did meet with the 5 ERO, including KNU, NUG, currently Shan. There is a fact. I think he like to be a kind of another, a peacemaker or the regional area in this particular Rakhine, but we don't know about his intention. And also the newly cabinet reshuffle with the new foreign minister, known as Mr. Murray. He is replacing the contemporary outgoing foreign minister, and the deputy foreign minister. They are not only Thai foreign minister, they chair the joint task force. So we don't know what will be the next Thailand engagement, especially then there was a recent foreign ministry engaged Thai Red Cross to Burmese Red Cross humanitarian corridor or aid through message. But this time we know that on the ground they are doing the ground survey in Mezzalian, maybe going to Karenni or Maehansang area this time. So this is another regional development from Thailand side. And also there is a lot of talk about ASEAN, these days, ASEAN, and there is a lot of people think that there may be another, because of Burmese Army, now they start talking about session election in 2025, not the whole country. So it seems like ASEAN also really excited and doing something, or if there is election and the main online or SAC, what will be the role of ASEAN? And also we recently see the ASEAN, there is a US ASEAN meeting. They invited ambassador, and there is another ASEAN, engagement on Thailand through to Myanmar through Thailand and Laos current chair. And there is also what is it that Troika engagement on Myanmar. Still remaining the same Myawaddy question. We know that there were Myawaddy was for very short time, and there is ongoing big Aungzia operation already 1 month stuck somewhere inside Burma, not reached to Myawaddy. Myawaddy is run by now, BGF, former BGF, we all know, and then they recently announced about clearing all the scam center. They have to leave, but we don't know whether. Now we had a lot of scam moving to 3 Bogota bus from Myawaddy, and also Myawaddy stay very franchise, and it is also very important for Thailand, like 5.5 million trading bots. So Myawaddy question is they remain, and then it's ongoing conflict that we need to keep an eye, including another way for Thailand humanitarian engagement, maybe potential addressing of this humanitarian crisis in Burma, Myanmar. My last slide, that a lot of people, or second last, and first ever Japanese engagement. I mean, although they portray as NGO, they were ethnic leader. This is the KNU chairman, and then KMPP, and a few other ethnic chin, and out of K3C, and UG, Dr. Zoe, who were invited to Japan. So that is also the latest regional development apart from Thailand. There is at least, there is a first ever openly invite and talk about Burma, Myanmar, addressing. There is an interest from the region. And so this is the new development. So my last slides, and it is about the Aung San Suu Kyi question. Recently, we know that she was moved from the prison for sure, but nobody's know. I mean, the army not saying, they completely black out about her question, but we know that from prison visit, she is no longer there and removing all her belongings. And there was some report saying that she was in number 6 and maybe near Ela Airport, but nobody can confirm. But the army spokesperson said because the weather too hot, they removed Aung San Suu Kyi. So the question is, why now? I mean, SAC said army being deliberately, no information. I mean, blackout information about Aung San Suu Kyi, apart from her house. So this is also a lot of people eyebrow raising, is that what is going to happen to her, and what will be the Burmese army going to use her for their next political move, and there is a lot of speculation going on. This will be my last slides, and then I will be happy to answer any question that I present, or anything that you think it is important to Burma, Myanmar. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you very much for this very comprehensive. I am waiting for the PowerPoint to disappear, but okay, so we are here. Now we are going to get questions from people here on Zoom as well as people on Facebook. Thank you very much for the very comprehensive, and indeed there has been a lot of attention for the Rakhine question, so it's good that you have talked quite a lot about that. I just open the floor to anyone who wants to comment or have questions about what has been said. Feel free to open the video or just write in the chat room. If not, I will start with some comments. There has been also some comments from Japanese foundation saying that Myanmar can learn from the experience of Cambodia. I am not sure you have followed from the Sasakawa Foundation, and there has been also some some ironic comment about this, but I wonder whether Sasakawa has indeed tried on various occasions to act as middleman and peace bringing, but not always with with results. So I don't know if you have heard about and you have any comments about this. And another was Srettha, the Prime Minister of Thailand in Japan, that had said that Thailand has worked tirelessly to resolve the problem of bring again peace in the conflict in Myanmar. So maybe if you know anything about these two episodes, and then there are some questions coming in. One moment. There are voices. Oh yeah. What would you like to suggest to NUG or armed group to fight against cowards? This I am just reading about that. From DPR payway to distribute ground situation on Myanmar. I am not sure about this question, but this is what is literally written. What would you like to suggest, NUG or armed group, to fight against cowards from DPR PW to distribute ground situation or Myanmar? This is the exact reading of
this question about the Department of Public Relations and Psychological Warfare.
Oh, okay. That is the one you talk about. And that the cowards, okay, that I leave it to you to interpret too.
All right.
And okay, maybe we can start with this, and then there is one more question for the next round.
All right. Maybe Japan, we've been keeping an eye on Sasakawa movement, especially he being the peace broker, regardless, being in many active NCA nationwide ceasefire agreement. It is always there. And also, in particular, Rakhine, the original ceasefire was done by him, and so he is not shy. He is very active. And Nippon Foundation, mainly on peace, and he has quite a lot of influence over some of the ethnic groups. But the Rakhine peace broke out. In return, he was promising about humanitarian aid, and he invoked quite a lot of other, especially 7 EAO peace agreement, like remaining with the NCA. In return, there is a development aid or humanitarian engagement. Either it is a Japanese government or other attribution. That is what he is actively doing. About Cambodia, I'm not very sure about what his role in Cambodia, but we know that Cambodia also not very successful in terms of allowing political space or media space or even the election. That is a kind of crony and not very good transition at all. So we don't like to become another Cambodia in the ASEAN with this Japanese engagement. It's also we're quite cynical about his role and engagement, and in general, that's why I put delivery book first ever Japanese. They don't want to look like it is a government initiated. It is maybe a bit toned down, but first ever engaged with the ethnic groups. I'm glad to see KNU there and CG and UG. Dr. Zoweso, he is actually a university professor, and also currently mainly in Thailand. And the Chin is on India border, almost liberated. They were invited, and a few other series of meetings, and then they were managed to do their press conference. So at least we welcome very much about this new engagement. That's also opened the door for other countries, especially in particular ASEAN. Not only Army as a institution or in the show, there is many other stakeholder now important to be addressed or to be engaged. So I think that is somehow encouraging by whoever is organizing this, initiative to directly talk with NUG. And, of course, nothing's wrong to engage with them because these are also, well, if they become like IEC, like currently they already declare their own administration. So what about the humanitarian engagement? What about the transition arrangement? Well, KNU, they've been control quite a lot of their territory. What if Nyawadi fall under there? They already make statement about their own administration, replacing SAC administration over Nyawadi. So these are the, questions that, especially regional and international, other country must take notes that it's nothing wrong to engage this newly emerged, especially ethnic stakeholder who is capable of going to run the state affair or another state within state, or control will play important role. I think that is my comment about one. But I'm personally very cynical about Sasakawa, mainly linked to the peace, and he also a lot of resistance group don't like him because of his very close relation with the army, and also very controversial. He did broke the deal with the ceasefire deal with Arakan before AA, and then after a short time it's broke out. In return, they promised a humanitarian after the cyclone hit last year. I remember, so he was really needing the humanitarian aid, and he was actively involved in. So we are keeping our eyes on him, and for me personally, more cynical. But at least there is a new engagement that derived from the some other managed to get to Japan and talk to a few stakeholders. That is a development within the region about engaging multi stakeholder. That is very encouraging. About the time prime minister, he said that I did 2-3 times. He want to see Burma Myanmar more stable, that also benefit both countries, and we also keeping our eyes on his engagement. Also, Thai politics, as you know, it's quite quite confusing for us about the road of move forward. And there is a money. Also there is a reason, 40 senator saying about the current prime minister, to about some of the appointment, and there is a very confusing. But also we learned that that's why we are more concerned with this permanent body. They call it a joint task force. And if I remember correctly, there were 14 members. The outgoing foreign minister was the chairman of the committee. It's including the Army Narration Tax 3 and also National Security Council, Minister of Commerce, Labor, a kind of combined task force. So we are more interested who will be the chair. Is it the new incoming foreign minister? And also outgoing, deputy foreign minister, Ajahn Siasa was very active. So we like to see who will be there, and then we like to see what will be the next second wave of engagement, particularly cross-border humanitarian engagement going to happen in Mae Hong Son or Meslian area that we were told we were keeping our eyes. And also this COA, NUG, there is a very active psychological warfare going on. I'm serious in terms of Russia also fully training them. A lot more guys are getting there very sophisticated. It's a lot of people see open fighting and a lot of blood and gun and territory. Only a lot of people and don't really see what is going on in terms of side war, and there is a very silent, quiet, but it is a very active department. Also, even 77 years of experience with their own TV channel, and there is a big mechanism. I hope Burma Myanmar not becoming another Cold War or Russia, America, China, but there is my point is there is a active, not only public relations, army sponsor, and Russia back sidewalk going on the ground. So that is, keep in mind that Burma, Myanmar, a lot of conflict. Some conflict are delivery, like Rohingya conflict. There is a lot of sidewalk. I monitor quite a lot of footages, picture. A lot of them are distorted. They are malinformation, disinformation, deliberately put it out there for their psychological warfare purpose. And a lot of ongoing conflict in Sagaing or other areas. Also, we notice a lot of fake news or using the misinformation, actively in the conflict. I don't see any good, come out of this sidewalk development. It's more problem than answer, and they were deliberately creating more problem. And also, it is about they are brainwashing their soldier. Burmese army having a moral crisis, lowest moral. So they want to boost, their army moral with the misinformation campaign. So it is delivery, it is organized and supported by the big country like Russia, behind these, side war and also cyber war toward their own soldier and then general publics, and also of course, they targeting the independence media houses deliberately. So we're very, very aware of this, delivery psychological warfare, and also we do what we can to counter this, But if NUG as a government, they have a very progressive statement about press freedom on May 3. I didn't mention that one. It was, beginning of the beginning, they respect the rural independent media. They were granted access to information and very progressive statement coming out, but they didn't address anything particular to this, ongoing sidewalk efforts.
Okay. So now we go to the situation again on Rakhine state. There are two questions about that. There are voices saying that the Arakan army should be left alone to handle the situation regarding the Rohingya in Rakhine. Is it a form of denial in disguise for human rights violation on the ground? This is one question. And the second related question is, there are some speculation that current development in Rakhine can potentially lead to another communal violence in Rakhine state, while some don't agree with that. So there are different voices about whether it can or cannot lead. What is your thinking about this? So these are both about the situation in Rakhine state. And then there is two more questions. One is about the scammers moving to Tripagoda from Miyawadi. Who control that area? Do you hear any news about the Thai government and also about scammer from China? If the Thai government is going to do anything like like China did in Northern Shan. I think we had this question also the previous session, but maybe someone different. So please also address this question. And then the last question, do you have any news regarding Sagaing, Magwe, and Kachin state?
Okay, I was not quite sure about the first question. A related question, what was it?
The question was, there are voices that basically the Arakan army should be left alone to deal with the situation. Is this a form of denial to say like this, or in this way? I mean, instead of addressing the human rights, there are voices that say, let them deal with this problem by themselves.
But I think militarily, they will take entire Rakhine. That is their military objective. They are so far able to capture 10 townships. I mean, I should have put up my one of the Rakhine map. If you look at the map, most of the town in the north, close to Bangladesh or India, they all gone. Only in the south, like Madrid is a capital. It's just a matter of time. And I mean, so I think militarily it will capture. I mean, then the Muslim majority, like Mudira Mondo. That is not only the first time, because of 2017, 18, all the crises, the same place, because of the majority the Muslim, where they let alone militarily, I think they were captured because they want to control also like border trade. There are a lot of other lucrative, ongoing business. And then, I mean, of course, if also the military objective, if they can, and also I guess they like to open their supply line from the Bangladesh or India rather than Burmese army going to cut off, all the supply.
With regard to the Rohingya, should they be left alone?
And then who will be if they have their own administration? But I know the military objective, right? So I think if they can, or if they can manage themselves, yeah, it would be nice. But there will be series of negotiation, and I mean maybe some other third party, maybe or international or regional organization may play in terms of neutralizing that area. I think need to be monitored and neutralized. I mean, otherwise, there is a second question of communal violence, or they've been historically, and also, I mean, we don't want to see another communal violence, but there will be, of course, there will be new administration for sure, like it or not. It will not be the same, whether it is forcibly conscript by Burmese army or Burmese army in Bihar. They like to, they're not going to leave. I mean, if Burmese army has to leave the place, they will leave with a very massive saturation. One easy thing is racial violence and communal violence. That is for sure. I mean, it's not only in that particular area. It's happening. I mean, like there are 3 million IDPs and 18 million people need a humanitarian. And a lot of ethnic claiming that they control 60% of territory then, right? So there is a Burma is almost playing a full-scale civil war. And also, I mean, Rakhine is no exception. So whether they will leave them alone, I doubt it. Military objective, they want to control, and also they want to run their particular Bangladesh border. They want to control access to that area militarily. So that is very clear. And also Burmese army, they are retreating. They blown up a lot of bridge. They are heavily preparing Situate and Tanwe in the south. And also there is a Namaka, the Navy base. They are heavily fortified, but seem like already 10 towns already fall under. So I think militarily they will advance, whether they should leave alone, but I think there should be ongoing negotiation. A lot of misunderstanding. I mean, especially with the local community. How do they want to deal? Because the majority, the Rohingya Muslim minority, so I think there is I sincerely think there is series of engagement need to address that one, and also maybe some other international or regional organization, if they involve as a neutral, facilitator, that would be nice. I mean, then otherwise, there is the second question of
what's more about exactly, I think, intervention from other outside party to protect the Rohingya. And this leads to the other question. Do you agree or not agree that there is a risk of communal violence?
There is very much, because there is very much like the powerful force, SAC, military, Burmese military is behind conflict. They invoke heavily, I mean, not only psychological warfare, but also through their channel. If they lose Rakhine, they're not going to lose like that. They were poked. They were destroying the town by air, and then they were deliberately leave the mass, creating the mass. They will leave the heritage of communal violence to AA. Then AA has to face that kind of things. I don't want to see that deliberate one. But there is a fact that there is a newly 200,000 people urgently need the humanitarian aids in that area, because there is a lot of roadblock. No one, no one can in and out heavy military clashes, air raid, and there is a blown up of bridge every day. There is a cutting or no, and also there is no cash flow. Most of the bank freeze. I was reading a few, and the consumer price hiking, and so a lot more problem. There is urgent need for, to address these newly, 200,000 refugees, site saver. And also there is very potential, another time bomb of the communal violence, So I think there is a delivery. I mean, we call it black hand, behind the scenes. I don't think Burmese army will leave alone. They will leave very massive saturation that they were not. I mean, there is a delivery attempt for that too. So I think it is not too late that, I mean, regional and international community can play a role. And also, I mean, as a media, we try to reach that, but I mean, very hard. Especially now that there is a cycle there and traveling, and also no communication. That is a traveling. We try to verify with through local, very difficult at the moment. All the phone line is cut. I mean, very few Bangladesh SIM card or Indian SIM card, we're trying to reach the areas. And the scammer. So I think that that's what I said. Another 6 months. I mean, there will be ongoing. Keep an eye on that particular Rakhine Rohingya area. It is also very racially, communally, very franchise, very sensitive. Also economically, as I said, 9 billion worth investment. And lucrative area, water trade, pipeline, and Korea gas, energy sector. These are all important issue to keep an eye for, at that particular area. And also scammer, that is, I mean, it is a kind of cat and mouse. When there is a crackdown in northern Shan State, they run to the southern Shan State from the Kogan TNLA control, and we had a lot of scammer move to Tachi Lake and other where they say they can get safe haven. It is about corruption. Army heavily involved. If you look at most of the high-ranking general being accused because of China named the names and they want that particularly. Now it's also because of these particular demand, there is already BGF and Nyawari already put up the big sign saying that leave all the scammer within 6 months. They give the time. So we know that there is a lot of activities, a lot of Chinese moving to Three Bogoda Pass. You can go from Mesau to Three Bogoda. I know that area. It is a KNU Brigade 6. And there is a lot more. Just very easy way to investigate is go and look at the real estate. Who is running the house and land in Three Bogoda Pass this day? I'm sure these are the Chinese. And who control that? Both, BGF, DKBA, KNU, all control. I mean, one way or another. So there is a lot of movement and there is a lot of way to measure. And also Chinese seriously cracking down on cutting the internet and electric supply. A lot more cracking down on other devices like satellite on regarding the scammer. So scammer also, they know how to get around. And so what we can do is we have to keep an eye on their movement, and it has become a transnational crime, Burma, Thailand, even a lot of Chinese. Yesterday, I saw the news that Chinese couple sold in Nyawari for 1 million yuan to the scammer. So Chinese intelligence are also very active in that particular area. But I'm sure they are moving around from the northern Shan State to southern Shan State, from the Nyawari, because their deadline is not reached there. They are moving to the Mon State, Mon area, Three Bogoda Pass. And there is a lot of way to enter either from Kanchanaburi or from Mesau. It is a Brigade 6. So there is a lot of Chinese migrant movement that, or we don't know, what kind of scam are there. And news about Magweza guy, I think the Mirabama stay ongoing. I mean, there is a lot of fighting because there are more heavy fighting, especially in Kachina AA. And that, which means there is no fighting. There is ongoing fighting in Tagai Magwe, but it is more or less NUG stronghold. Most of the NUG control area. I think so far there are already 60 townships under resistance. I think a few with the NUG, PDF, mainly Sagaina Magwe. But the question is whether the humanitarian aid reaching there, because we saw a few attempts from the cross border, and either from Thailand, is that possible to reach there because of majority IDPs there, and also whether is that possible to reach from India border. So I think business as usual, there is ongoing conflict because other conflict is bigger than the Sakai Magwe. So there is not much, there is ongoing on daily basis, air raid, atrocity. Recently there was a mass killing, in that area, particular area. So I think, I mean, the Sakai alone, out of these 3 million IDPs, 800,000 from Zagai alone, followed by 200,000. Zagai Magwe combined more than 1 million IDPs. So you can see the scales. And so not because there is not fighting, there is still fighting, ongoing clashes on daily basis, but other clashes like Rakhine and then the Kachin on the China border quietly, there is a heavy fighting. That's why, you don't hear quite a lot of Sagai, Maguire, and Medabama area, but that's not mean that it is okay. I mean, there is still ongoing, clashes and then need for the humanitarian crisis, majority like these 3 million OCHA name the refugees or IDP in particularly Sagaina Magui area. And most house burned down area in the Medellobama. So we call it Anya. Anya means that Zagai Magui, Medellobama dry zone. And also there is on top of that, there is a environmental disaster. The world 10 hottest city, 3 from that particular area, Yin and Jiangzhou, there is a heavy drought. I mean, there is on top of this, ongoing civil war, humanitarian crisis. There was also a lot of people lost life because of too hot. I mean, 48 degrees, in Chalk or that area. So I think there is, I mean, you can name a lot more. We are not, I mean, forgotten that particular area. We still keep an eye in that area, but there is a other conflict that got like Rohingya. You can see a lot of CNN running, and also there was a Al Jazeera and other international media, and because of other conflict are much more much serious and much more bigger than those Zagai Magwe. So that is my sincere answer for these particular questions.
I'm sure the next episode you can emphasize more on that part of Myanmar. But there is now a last question, which is still on Rakhine State, and it's about the issue of representation of the Rohingya. I mean, who is what about representation of the Rohingya in case there would be negotiation, given the fact that there is no Rohingya political party and only controversial insurgent group like ARSA, RSO, etc. So I think there is always the issue that Rohingya feel not well represented also within NUG as well as in other bodies. So in case there are indeed discussion and negotiation, who is going to represent the interest of the Rohingya community?
I think that question need to answer not only right now, or that question will remain, including the citizenship 1982, who is citizen, who is a community leader, who will run because of majority Muslim or Rohingya, that especially Budida Mondo, and then Rakhine, other Dinat and Chakma, they will be the minority. So they need to be, I mean, because of their majority, they need to be someone that need to represent. So far, I think AA make the statement they are giving, Century help and hand to, I think 7,000 Rohingya Muslim. They must have some connection and local elder. It's very unclear because of the suddenly collapse of the SAC administration on May 17th. And I'm sure what happened to those, what is that, the local administrator appointed by the SAC or Bamisami before they retreat. They run away to either Bangladesh or scatter around. So they must have, or whether a replace with their, I'm sure once they overrun, they do their own administration. But I'm not, because of this access, we don't have clear access or clear question, but this need to be addressed. Who is actually representing who on the ground? Because if they are majority, they should be. I mean, also there is a very dangerous right-wing Islamic group there, like Assad or you name it, 3 or 4 ethnic groups. And also there is a lot of reports saying that a lot of young people being sold to Burmese army from the refugee camps for conscription. We all know that Burmese army seriously looking for human resource any way that they can, and also any way to counter AA army influence. So I think it's quite quite a confusing situation who is actually running there. And there is definitely ongoing humanitarian crisis, emergency relief, very chaotic, because of one administration is running away and then and new one is coming in. What kind of arrangement that actually who is running what that's why we need some monitoring groups or media present in that particular area, or if it is not Burmese or maybe Bangladeshis or other independent neutral present will be very helpful, and also very helpful to get some journalists on the ground. Maybe this is what the UN or other can sponsor. Some other these are the good cause to actually dig more information. Who is actually running? What is needed? What are the problems? Because there will be vacuum of the administration in that area. So I think this is stay another challenge over challenge. Another critical, or if there is a humanitarian aid, who will deliver, or is it to which community? That kind of question. So that's why I said that another 6 months or so will remain. What kind of another administrative arrangement are going to propose? That is also very interesting to keep our eyes on specifically. But so far, we can read a leader saying has a very painful Twitter on. He is saying that I can imagine he is in a very difficult position because there is deliberate, creation of chaos. And projection of, and very drive into another community violence and a lot more problem if there is actually running the show or taking the charge, compared with other townships that they overtake. This one will be most crucial, and will be keep our eyes, will be a lot of eyes watching on this particular area, not only locally but also regionally, internationally.
Okay, so thank you very much for again this interesting presentation. Although a lot of worries about the future is not as smooth as we would have hoped. It's full of challenges, and of course the issue of Rakhine and other that we have not discussed, but we keep for the next week remain quite challenging. But at the same time, there seems to be some progress on the front line of a new conquest, although we have not talked too much today about victories, armed victory of the arms in the arms struggle. So that is again something to deepen more in the next episode. But for now, thank you very much for today, and we look forward to having you again in 1 month. As SEA-Junction, I like also to announce tomorrow we will have the screening of an Indonesian, not related to Myanmar, but it's about the general election in Indonesia, the dirty vote, because it discusses the fraud during the supposed alleged fraud during the Indonesian general election, which were held in February. And one of the resource person will be present to discuss in more details, as well as the journalist Michael Bakiotis. So please, for those in Bangkok, attend our screening as well as the discussion that will follow. Thank you to Ajar for partnering with us in this series of update, and Mizzima with our media partner, and also broadcast this and the previous episode on their Facebook page. So again, thank you very much. And
thank you, Leah. Thank you, SEA-Junction.
The next month. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Cheers.
Hi, Lynette. Remain online.